Okay guys, so someone just sent me something. I'm confused. I'm sorry, this was supposed to be a comments replies videos. I'm gonna reply to some comments, but give me a moment. Okay, so first things first, I have a bunch of food on my table. You may think this is not relevant, but there's a bunch of food. I just came back from a fucking exam with a bunch of food from the shop, because it's between the university and here. And instead of eating, I'm doing this. Because time has come. I have neglected to do anything for a very long time. It's probably been like, oh my god, it's been more than a fucking month, hasn't it? The last video was on the 5th of December. It's the 13th of January, which by the way is a sort of a national thing here. I'm not gonna go into detail because it's not important right now. What's important is that I replied to a bunch of comments. So let's see what's the last comment I replied to. Alright, I'm not even sure which comments I haven't answered to. So if I miss something critical, feel free to comment again and I will answer to that now. Because it will appear at the top of the comments. Hopefully, if Google decides, you know, it would be nice to show some comments. Alright, so some comments from TheBokkelul. Actually, if say you were to drink Skooma, you would get a thingy in your magics menu with the effects of Skooma. It wouldn't say the effect comes specifically from the Skooma, but with a bit of human reasoning you can figure out that a sudden burst of speed comes from the Skooma you just drank. So now I'm going to try to figure out what the hell were we talking about that this would be a relevant thing to say to. Alright, so we were talking about potions, right? It was potions. We definitely discussed potions in Morrowind. Was it specifically about Skooma? I think my complaint was something along the lines that you can't see effects of potions before you get alchemy to a certain level, even if you drink them. I think my complaint was basically not that I couldn't understand, you know, oh, if I drink Skooma I'm gonna start running fast. It's that my character will not find this out. Like, no matter how many fucking Skoomas he's gonna drink up and suddenly start running around like crazy, it's still not gonna tell me that Skooma gives me speed. It's still just gonna be question mark. Oh, I don't know. I just drank like 100 bottles of that shit, but I have no idea what it does. Better drink it so I have more speed. Wait. See, that's the point. It doesn't really make sense that, you know, the potion effects, which are clear and distinct, wouldn't be noticeable. Like when you drink, when you consume consumable of any kind that is an alchemical ingredient, for example, of random shroom, something like Skyrim, you know, you immediately learn at least one effect. And that effect actually happens to you, which is why you learn it. That's what makes sense, you know? You do something happens, your character probably should have knowledge of that. It's like, yeah, that's what I meant. It's not a big deal, I mean, whatever, but it doesn't make sense, right? You have to agree. Next comment. I'm pretty sure that woman in the bar did not attack you because you had a friendly brawl with the local Nord, but because you checked his pockets after he went down, potentially stealing his stuff. Okay, dude, I don't know if you noticed, but I was some serious fighting. It involved me traveling across the entire town, jumping and everything. And it's like, it was a huge battle. Pretty much an epic battle, you could say, if you wanted to be hyperbolic. But the point stands, it was pretty extreme and it required a lot of my resources and you could even say moral damages. I'm pretty sure I didn't take any physical damage, being a ninja and all, but at least I was harmed morally in some way. You wouldn't want to be chased by a drunken Nord across town, now would you? So all I did was take some compensation for that. I think that's pretty reasonable. I don't understand how it's some random lady's business that I deal with something so obvious. At least she should have, like, I don't know, called the authorities or something, not just assault me, and more to the point try to backstab me. Like, while you may have, like, given her a reason to attack me, you still haven't explained why was she so lethally interested, right, you know? So, no, I think your explanation is not sufficient. I'm gonna have to stick with my side of the story. Sorry. Next comment by TheBokkelul. Deleted a huge ramble of mine. Actually, 4 different huge ramblings. In short, don't worry about the leveling system, just play the game and level up whenever. The bonuses are not in any way necessary, as enemies do not scale. They are just bonuses. You also not fall behind with your stats if you do not get the max multiplier for every attribute on level up. Enemies do not scale, this is not Oblivion in any way. Don't worry about it, you'll be fine. And if something is too difficult, it's almost always your gear that is to blame. Or lack of creative thinking. Also known as not using paralyze daggers, not using cure paralysis potions, that kind of stuff. I remember reading actually through all of those rambles. I don't know why you deleted them. I think they had some fair points. Some of them. I don't remember them in detail because this was a month ago, obviously, but I do remember reading them. I remember that happened. I remember seeing them appear. I like to see, like, big texts of wall appear in my comments chat. It's a good sign that the system is still working. Because, you know, if nothing appears there, then you never know if it works or not. You have to guess. But to address your point, specifically that I shouldn't worry about the leveling system and just do whatever, oh, I pretty much am doing that. I'm not, like, actively disgruntled about the fact that the leveling system doesn't make sense. It's not getting in the way of the game, as it would probably do in Oblivion. So, yeah, it's not a big deal. But, you know, that's not the point to me. The point is that it's... My point is just that it could be better. It's by no means necessarily bad, but it could be better. And I'd prefer it to be better, obviously, because I am playing the game. It's... you know, it's not affecting the gameplay, but you can look at it as a missed opportunity for the gameplay to be even better. Right? Of course, I don't know if there is truly a better way. I just speculate. I just guess, and I try to explain why do I think things work like they do. One thing that I do disagree, I don't think that what you've specified here is like creative thinking. Using paralyze daggers, that's not really creative thinking, that's just lemonade, you know? The game gave me paralyze daggers, so I used them. If it didn't give me them, I wouldn't be using them. It's very unlikely I would have made them myself. I can hardly call this creative thinking from that perspective. And the cure paralysis potions, like, if you actually investigate in all the ingredients and obviously get your alchemy high enough, which takes a lot of button clicks, I'll have you know, it's trivial. Like, right now I'm probably never gonna be paralyzed ever again for a significant amount of time. It's non-issue anymore. I wouldn't say that's creative though, it's just like, you know, okay, people paralyze me, I should get paralysis potions. What would be creative though in this case? I don't know, I don't have like the full breadth of all the possible items and spells and stuff yet understood in Morrowind. I prefer it that way, I like to be surprised in this case. But, you know, creative thinking requires a little bit more than these very obvious, very you could even say overpowered options, to be honest. It's like I have Q paralysis potions which heal insane amount of health. Huh? How can I be killed? All I need to do is just dodge everything and shoot everybody to death. So I guess I need arrows or something. Anyway, I think my ramble has now become even longer than yours. I think we both agree that it's not a problem, but it could be better. Slightly. Maybe make a little bit more sense here or there. So far it has not been vastly important. We will do some actual verification of this once I get the best equipment and I get pretty high in the level wherein if there really is a problem, it will surface. So there is no point, I guess, to discuss this any further until that happens. Alright, so a couple of people thanked for the Dark Souls 2 video, which teaches very specifically in very particular steps how to fix your mouse button lag in Dark Souls 2. My second most viewed video, clocking at 12,792 views. Fucking amazing. It's funny because I made that video because somebody asked me to in the comments, you know, please make a video about the instructions on how to do this stuff. So I made a video on the instructions literally the next day. And then some other comments in that video said, oh, like, you don't need to be so specific, we're not idiots. Well, clearly there are different kinds of people out there, and no single one of them can truly represent the rest. Is what I'll take from that. We have some Matt James comments on my Just Cause Let's Play, which is the oldest one. Hey dude, just thought I should tell you that if you sit in the passenger seat of a car and press the W key, he will move into the driver's seat so you can drive the car. Hope it helps. That black hand car was a rare mission-only vehicle. Shame you didn't save it at a safe house garage. It's a bit late to tell you, but now you know. It's pretty funny, because these videos are freaking ancient. They're so old that it's practically impossible to get them in the videos list, because my videos list doesn't actually have an option to view the oldest videos. Also, some idiots in their infinite wisdom decided that, you know, instead of having the reasonable thing and having the page buttons both at the top and the bottom, we'll just have them at the bottom. So that a person who wants to get to the first video that he's uploaded has to scroll down through every page, click the button, scroll down through the page, click the button, repeat. That makes sense. Yeah. Man. The first video that was an LP has 740 views. That's some crazy shit. I wonder how many people watched that, thought that I suck, and never looked again. Thankfully, that is not actually my first video, so there's other things that people have not watched in which I suck a lot more. So yes, it could be worse. If you want to hear me sound awkward, you could just go and look at the pretty much oldest non-World of Warcraft videos in this channel. Yeah. That's all the hints I'm willing to give. But yeah, I haven't played Just Cause ever since. It wasn't that amazing. I did intend to do Just Cause 2, and crossed my mind a couple of times in recent times, because I've had it for a very long time, and it's something I want to do because I started with that game. I don't even know why I played that game anymore. It was so long ago, it's just I happened to have it on me. Well, like, okay, this game looks old enough that I can let's play it on my piece of shit PC. As it turns out, it wasn't old enough. But yeah, it was a ride. A learning experience. I learned a lot about various editing shenanigans from Just Cause. A lot of the knowledge that I've learned there I carry to this day to my videos, and they're better for it. And if you think my videos suck, well, imagine they could be even worse. Alright, so speaking of sucking, matimeandie, so matimeandie or matimeandie, some guy who likes Japanese stuff. Is this Japanese stuff? Yeah, this is definitely Japanese. This could be Korean. Sorry, not Korean. Chinese. Or maybe Korean too. I don't know any of those languages, but I have seen enough of those hieroglyphs that I sometimes can tell them apart. Just, I don't know what they mean, but I can tell whether they're like Japanese or not. I think the Japanese usually are easily to recognize by the sort of like an H letter. They have this like a lowercase h, which is actually pronounced as N. And that's like very easy to tell Japanese from all the other Asian languages. There's a couple more other things. In general, Chinese stuff is fatter. Like Chinese letters are fatter than Japanese ones. If you see like really fat letters, then it's Chinese. If it's kind of more sparse, then it's Japanese. Because Japanese tend to mix their alphabets a little bit as well. Like the N letter. It appears out of nowhere. That's not a fucking actual letter in their main alphabet. So, yeah. Fucking experts on everything now. His comment, by the way, is "You fking suck." He forgot the commas there, and he's clearly commenting on the wrong video because there was no one in my video called fking, to my knowledge. I mean, it's been a while since I watched it. It's crossed like 30,000 views or something, and I guess we can add one more. What the hell? Not gonna make much of a difference. But yeah. I don't see anyone call fking. There's Pentathlon, The Good Leg 13, Holy Hysteria, Marina, Awesome Jesus, Black Panther. A couple more people joined through the time, but nobody called fking. Yeah, so I don't know who is he referring to, unfortunately. Another person called Cecilia Salas Benito says, "You are fack." For those that don't know what a fack is, I believe it is one of a cow's stomachs. Alright, there we go. It's a noun, fack, and it is one of the 4 stomachs of a ruminating animal. So, what the fuck is a ruminating animal? I probably know, but not in English. Ruminant, yeah, it's like, it's fucking sheep, is basically. Camels, cattle, goats, giraffes, things like that. Right. I am not one of those things. Most definitely not. He could be referring to someone else, of course, not me, but I assume it's me, because, well, he says you, so clearly he's referring to me. But, yeah, I'm definitely not one of those things. I also don't have one of those things. I'm also not a ruminating animal, I think. Pretty sure not. I'm not a goat. This person is confused. He must have not been paying a lot of attention in biology lessons. Maybe he confused the sounds that I make with sounds that facks make. I mean, that could sort of make sense, right? But I've never heard of fack, so... Guess we'll just have to take Cecilia's word for it, that facts are really eloquent in English, by the way, if you didn't know. I mean, that explains why animals can't talk, because the organ that speaks in English is their fucking stomach. So, you know, you wouldn't hear that shit. It's somewhere deep inside the body, like the noise would just be cancelled out by the rest of the body, you know? You wouldn't hear it. That's why animals don't speak. Cecilia Salas Benito. Truly a genius who has uncovered this mystery. Alright, so that's it for the comments. I apologize for taking so long to respond, but my goodness. I was just incredibly busy. And or tired. In between the last time I did anything on YouTube all the way until now. To be honest, I'm still busy and I will still be busy. So, yeah. I'm not sure when exactly I'm gonna have any actual videos though. Thinking maybe in a week. Maybe a bit more than a week. Yeah. I think I might manage something next week. Towards the end of the next week I should have free time. For sure. Some. Not a lot, but probably enough to make a video or two. And if I can make a video or two, then that gives me like a week to make another video or two. And then the cycle will repeat itself until the end of time. Or until I get busy again. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you later.